Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Monday, April 10, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Let us all be torchbearers of hope, says Ali in Easter message. East Bank and East Coast of Demerara to soon be integrated into one big city, says Minister Rodrigues. GIFTLAND looking to renew power purchase deal with GPL. Fisherman beaten, stabbed to death at home, and 1 dead, 2 injured in ENMORE accident. Now for the news in detail. In his address to the nation on the occasion of Easter, President Dr. Irfan Ali urged all citizens to be instruments of hope as he continued to spread his message of oneness and togetherness amongst all Guyanese. Here's a look.
The First Lady and I and our son Zaid join in wishing a joyous and holy Easter to all Guyanese, but especially to our Christian community. I trust that this year's Easter observance will usher in greater peace, happiness, and goodwill as we each try to be of service to our fellow citizens. Christians believe that Christ came to be of the highest service to humanity. They believe that he came to redeem humanity from sin. As part of his redemptive mission, he was preordained to suffer and die. However, Christians believe that Christ rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. It is this resurrection, the conquest of death and sin, which lies at the heart of the Easter story. Easter celebrates the certainty of the victory of hope. When everything seemed lost, the resurrection restored hope and became a source of joy for the early followers of Christ. The Easter story reminds us not to succumb easily to despondency and despair, and the disappointments which life's challenges sometimes present. There is always a silver of hope, one that reminds us that life overcomes death, love surmounts hatred, and hope triumphs over hopelessness. The Easter weekend is a hive of activities in Guyana. Thousands of families will take to fly kites, have picnics, and to visit our beaches and other open spaces. The Bartica Regatta and Lethem Rodeo have become staples associated with our extended Easter holiday weekend. Easter, however, it's not just a weekend. It is a season grounded in the hope that the resurrection brings to all. As we enter this holy season of Easter, let us remind ourselves of the need to be instruments of hope, especially in the lives of others. Let us all pledge to be torchbearers of hope. Let us become a light to others by being of service to them, and particularly to those who may be encountering unfortunate circumstances. Let us demonstrate that we are caring, considerate, and compassionate people by reaching out to them in love, comfort, and support. The One Guyana mission will help bring our people closer together and to be instruments of hope to our fellow brothers and sisters. Let us continue to work each day to make the mission successful in uniting our nation. A happy Easter to all. Please be safe and God bless all of you.
As government continues on its agenda to transform the infrastructural landscape of the country, soon the East Bank and East Coast of Demerara will be merged as one city through the impressive road networks and highways being created. Find out more in this report.
This position was shared by Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodrigues, during a Dream Realized event last week that saw beneficiaries receiving house lots on the east coast of Demerara. Minister Rodrigues explained that the massive development that took place along the east bank of Demerara, which saw communities situated there being very high valued, is now coming to the east coast of Demerara.
I want to urge you to look at the development that took place on the east bank of Demerara, and then you will understand what is about to take place on the east coast of Demerara. I know the East Bank has been a very desirable place, a place that has been in very high demand over the last few years. And that is because there was a very effective strategy that was implemented under the leadership of our president when he was minister, at the Ministry of Housing. And what he did transformed the lives of our low-income population when he placed them in what was then the back. But then now with the construction of the 4-lane highway, they are now situated in the front from another angle, which gave them the opportunity to, as the CEO said, double, triple, quadruple their net worth.
She went on to explain that significant investments are particularly being made in advancing the road networks to increase better access between the East Bank and East Coast of Demerara, and soon the two districts will become better integrated.
All of the schemes on the East Coast are leading in a direction towards the East Bank, and you will eventually be connecting to the Aubrey Barker Road link that will come all the way to the East Coast. So there is no one entry and exit to the East Coast any longer. We're developing a very complex network of highways and roads, and you will see a whole different community being developed along the East Coast, linking to the East Bank, and we may have to probably decide where the East Bank ends and where the East Coast begins, because it will be all integrated into one big city.
Tasia Dickinson for the Evening News.
GIFTLAND Mall is looking to renew its power purchase agreement with the Guyana Power and Light after the previous deal, which was inked in early 2020, has expired. Here are the details.
Right now, the lease agreement to supply power has expired. We've applied to have it renewed, and we're still waiting for permission to have it renewed.
Chairman of the GIFTLAND Mall, Roy Bepat, providing an update to the Evening News on the power purchasing agreement with GPL. The agreement was first signed in January 2020 under the previous APNU AFC coalition administration. However, GIFTLAND only started to supply the GPL grid with electricity in October 2020. It has a system that produces 6.7 megawatts of electricity, 5 megawatts of which is heavy fuel oil fueled, but it only uses 1.6 megawatts during prime operations at the mall. As such, government tapped into GIFTLAND's excess power supply to boost the capacity of the GPL grid, which had a generating capacity of 155 megawatts. Under the previous power purchase deal, however, GIFTLAND had encountered several issues with its generating system, which was out of commission for months in some instances. Despite this, BPAT is confident of having the agreement renewed, especially since the company is investing heavily in overhauling its generating equipment. These works are currently being undertaken, and the system is expected to be up and running by June.
We're right now doing some overhauls of our equipment, so we won't be able to go ahead until June should they renew this, if they decide to renew the power agreement.
In October 2022, the power company had advertised for private contractors to supply 50 megawatts of heavy fuel oil generated power through the power purchase agreements.
President Dr. Irfan Ali has said that Region 9 would become a major economic hub due to its strategic location between Georgetown and Roraima in Brazil. The head of state, who addressed the community of Anay in the North Rupununi on Sunday, disclosed that the government intends to create key investments in the region's communities and new development opportunities. He spoke of plans in place at the macro level, including the need to enhance agriculture to contribute to Guyana and CARICOM's food security. He said that at the micro level, needs will be met and that the regional chair has been tasked with examining every single community to assess ways in which they can be competitive. The government would then lend the necessary support. He also assured the residents of Anay that their developmental needs will be addressed and that government officials would return to inform them about the various timelines for implementation. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
It's the big taste you love. Devon Big Six. For when you want more. Devon Big Six. The biggest six in Guyana. More chocolate. More custard. More value. Devon Big Six. Put a smile on your face.
Play and win with Superbet. Visit an agent near you to play all your favorite games. Superbet, your best bet. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to their ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. One person is now dead while two are injured following an accident which occurred on Sunday along the ENMORE access road, East Coast Demerara. Dead is Parishram Sanchari, a 29-year-old resident of Hope West, ENMORE. He was the pillion rider on motorcycle CK875 at the time of the accident, which occurred at around 2 hours according to the police. The bike was being operated by 28-year-old Dio Das, who received injuries in the crash. Also injured is 30-year-old Imran Bakas, who was riding a pedal cycle. Reports are that the pedal cyclist was proceeding north along the western side of the ENMORE access road, while the motorbike was proceeding south along the said road when a collision occurred. As a result of the collision, the motorcyclist, pillion rider, and pedal cyclist fell onto the road surface and received injuries. They were picked up by the police and members of the Guyana Fire Service, EMT, and conveyed to the Georgetown Public Hospital. Sanchari succumbed to his injuries, while the motorcyclist and the pedal cyclist were admitted patients. 26-year-old Monof Azim of Lot 49 Anakatrina, West Coast Demerara, lost his life earlier today after he was beaten and stabbed to death by a group of men around 8 hours whilst he was at home. According to the police commander of Region 3, Mahindra Sinarain, the matter is currently under investigation, but detectives have so far determined that the incident occurred on the heels of a disagreement between the victim and the suspects on Sunday. Reports are that Azim and some other fishermen had arguments over the cutting of a fishing scene. Local Government and Regional Development Minister Nigel Darmalal has warned that appropriate measures will be taken against the National Democratic Council officials if they continue to abuse their position of authority and engage in acts of corruption. More in this report.
Construction going on in different NDCs, and I get reports that councillors giving permission over and above the council and without the knowledge of the overseer. I have complaints where other things are happening. The sanitary officers or the environmental health officer, you call them, they are issuing approvals without the knowledge of councils. When you break the law, you will face the consequences. And the law has to do with the overall development of our communities. There are certain things that are allowable, and there are some things which are not allowed at all.
Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Darmalal during a recent event. The minister further explained that several NDCs are refusing to take action well within their rights and duties against the establishment of shacks and illegal vending on reserves. Moreover, to keep NDCs in order, the minister declared the need for each NDC to have a database of issues raised against them and how they are handled.
I would like to see a database of all of the issues that that have been raised with you and how you have dealt with them. And this will be part of the appraisal of the administration of the NDCs, from the overseer to the other staff of the NDCs.
Dharmlal also condemned the work of district development officers, particularly in East Bank Demerara, who are reportedly holding up the payments of several community members.
Local government in the RDC is to go into communities to ensure that our work is done. That when you do projects, that people's issues around these projects are resolved. They're not to go and sit in an NDC and do paperwork. That is not their duty.
Tassia Dickinson for the Evening News.
The Iwokrama River Lodge and Research Center, situated on the west bank of the Essequibo River, is not just a resort but a tourist destination which offers a true wildlife experience. In this tourism feature, Andrew Carmichael reports that the lodge is Iwokrama's operational hub. While remote, it offers all you could possibly need for a comfortable stay in the forest.
The Iwokrama River Lodge and Research Center works continuously to further knowledge of nature and the environment. Operations Manager Roni Rupnarine says the lodge offers several packages which allows guests to see wildlife in their natural habitat. While Iwokrama is a conservation area, Rupnarine explained that it has two sustainable businesses, one which is ecotourism and the other sustainable operations. The Iwokrama forest is split into two zones, with half being the wilderness reserves.
That is 50% of area whereby limited research is conducted, but it's used as a control area to the other 50% of the forest, which is the sustainable utilization area. Both businesses are within that sustainable utilization area. Majority of the research are also conducted within that area.
Depending on which package you choose, several tours are organized. These include trips to Turtle Mountain, a rapid, a lake, caiman spotting, and nocturnal spotting.
Which is jaguar spotting, we call it. We have 9 cabins and we have 6 single rooms for researchers, because we also offer a place here for researchers to come and do research. The jaguar spotting tour is it's done in the evening, in the afternoon period, like around 5 o'clock, or depending on the timings that guests want to do it. So at one point in time, I think we did it like 3 o'clock in the morning, early morning. So they leave here with the vehicle. It's a slow drive, like about 8 to 10 km away from the river lodge, and you drive slowly, just looking out for all wildlife that you could see. More or less, chances are it's higher at that point in time to see a jaguar, because mostly we see them in the night. But if you get to see one within the forest, it's a very high point, right? They're not always there, but you're guaranteed to see other wildlife as well. Sometimes you see tapirs, you see deers, you see agoutis. These are all other wildlife that you can see on a nocturnal spotting if you go out in the evening.
The caiman spotting is about a 45-minute tour and it is done after dinner in the evening. It is a boat tour which allows visitors to get up close and personal with some forms of wildlife.
Go out on the river with your torch and you basically shine the light in the river, and you would see red eyes shining back at you. And obviously they call it caiman spotting, but you do see snakes. I know one time they went out and they saw the Amazon boa, the rainbow, I think it's rainbow boa. Yes, beautiful species. Emerald boa, not the rainbow, emerald boa. That's a beautiful snake. But you do see those in the night as well. Sometime when you do daytime tour, for example, traveling from here to get to Turtle Mountain is a 20 minutes ride with boat. So whilst going from here to Turtle Mountain, chances are you see other wildlife, for example, giant river otters along the road, along the river, sorry, and they usually go in big, huge swarms of river otters. They travel with numerous of them travel together. Very beautiful sight if you get a chance to actually see them. Rarely you would find them by themselves.
Turtle Mountain has a 950-foot climb to the top, according to Rupnarine. From there, one can see the spider monkey.
You're guaranteed to see those because when you look down into the forest, there they are, just little red faces looking back at you. But you do have birds, a lot of bird species. While I'm not familiar with all of them, our guests that usually comes here, they usually come with their bird checklist. So they're coming here and they're with their binoculars, and in the evening you will see them taking off the birds. And if they see a species that they don't know, then they would mark it, they would put it on their list and they would go and research that bird. Yeah, but mostly our guests that come here, they come for the wildlife, not so much for the tours we offer. But the KKC Rapids that we offer, it's a daytime tour. This one here, people would go to see birds or wildlife. If you see wildlife, it's a plus, because this one here is just like 5 minutes away from the lodge. And if you go to the rapids, you could just sit down and relax. And once the water is low, you could take a dip, and it's very calm and soothing there.
Iwokrama River Lodge is an ecotourism gem surrounded by tropical rainforest. The River Lodge is considered the only establishment of its kind. It has 24-hour electricity supplied by solar power. For the evening news, Andrew Carmichael.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
There will be no retraction of the Demerara Harbor Bridge on Tuesday, April 11th. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, April 11th at 7:05 hours for a period of 1.5 hours.
6 medals thus far for Carifta Athletics team, and Milo quarterfinals set after exciting weekend action. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
John Lewis Styles has opened a new department, now offering home goods. Here you can find quality sheets and towels, pillows, blankets, and even bath mats and shower curtains. Organize your laundry with clothes baskets, fabric steamers, irons, and ironing boards. For the kitchen, we have small appliances, towels and mittens, pot sets and dinner sets too. Decorate the house with mirrors, picture frames, floating shelves, and decorative pillows. All these and more on Waterloo Street. It's fashion for the home. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Poultry farmers, save money by cutting down the time it takes to pluck your chickens with the plucking machine from Sylvie's. Now available at affordable prices in 3 sizes: 500, 550 and 600 mm, 110 220 volts, 60 cycles, 1450 RPM. Replacement motors and the plucking fingers are also readily available right now at Sylvie's Variety Store, High and Hatfield Streets, Georgetown.